So I've been thinking. Been thinking a lot, per usual. I think too much sometimes. But first off, introductions, right? I'm Seven, Sir Seven. Call me Sir, call me Seven. And this is my channel where I think, I live, and I try to figure it out, right? And today, I wanted to talk about isolation. And I'm going to talk from the I perspective, and I want to invite your thought and your reflection, your comments, because, yeah, let's create a conversation around this. So, sometimes I get depressed, and not just sad, but it's the type of depressed that I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to do things that I usually love, I don't want to hang out with friends, and I isolate myself. I do so to a level in which I'm just not wanting to be around people or do anything. And it comes to a point in which I realize I'm being my own enemy, right? I sabotage myself and I don't want to access community. And I think it's so backwards but it also makes sense, right? If I was in my right mind, that feels like I'm trying to be more gentle with myself. If I was in my normal state, if I was not depressed, when I'm not depressed, I want to be in community. I want to be around people. I want to be doing the things I love. I want to explore. I want to play. I want to remember. But when I'm depressed, I want to sleep. I want to isolate. And not in the name of rest, in the name of sadness. But interestingly enough, when I'm in that state, I have nothing to pinpoint, right? When I'm sad, it's usually something I'm sad about. Drop of ice cream, a rejection letter for a job I applied for, something that's disappointing. Like, I have something to point to, but when I'm depressed, there's nothing to point to. I'm just sad. And when I'm explaining that to people, I have to admit sometimes I lie because it's hard for folks to understand that. I'm sad because of nothing at all. I'm extremely sad because of nothing at all. And that's what depression feels like. Depression feels like all of the light has been sucked out the world. All of it. Like it's dark during the day. Like it's like darkness in a way. Like I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Legit. And I would wish a lot on my worst enemy. I would wish a lot on my worst enemy. I'm just partially kidding. I am now attempting to communicate when I'm depressed, so people understand that I'm not to not believe me when I self-isolate, right? To not believe me when I say, no, I don't want to go to the movies. I'm watching anime. Like that may seem normal, right? They may say, yeah, I watch anime all the time. But when I tell them I'm depressed and I'm watching anime, they're like, oh, do you want me to watch anime with you? Or I tell them I'm depressed, I'm going for a walk. Oh, do you want me to join you on that walk? Or to start having conversation with me via text. Like that's what people have been doing when I've been communicating about my depression, right? And we'll talk about anxiety later. But that's what people have been doing, right? And I'm realizing that community is the answer, right? Isolation is not. Community is the answer and isolation is not. You see, so when I tell folks and I communicate through my connections that I'm feeling depressed, right? They're able to assist me. And you know what happens when they assist me? My depression goes away faster. It don't disappear, right? I think that's, part of the mental illness. Like, it don't go away, right? It don't, like, erase it from, like, it don't like, evaporates into, like, I don't know, the sky. But it goes away faster. I'm able to process it a bit more, and I feel like depression is scared of community, right? And I know we say community is always the answer, but I don't think we always know how healing it is, right? Just being in it. Like we don't have to always participate in it. We can observe it while being in it. And community is healing. And I say that, but my caveat is that in those instances we're taking from community and we're giving with our presence, but we have to remember the inverse too, right? Community demands for us not to just give, not to just take, but to also give when we can. A mutual aid type of relationship that I think allows balance. I think due to racialization, I think due to capitalism, it's more people work to make sure it balances itself out. Therefore, being mindful, thoughtful, and aware that we may take more than we give, I think helps us be able to establish a level of equilibrium. And maybe that you know what I'm trying to say, equilibrium isn't the goal, right? Maybe the state of equilibrium is a sometimes, or the give and take may be flowing, if you will. But that's what I think about in relation to isolation, community, and depression. Community is the answer, and so when I'm in a state of depression, I tell folks, I'm feeling depressed today. I don't tell folks after. Well, at least I'm trying not to tell folks after. I'm telling folks during. I just want you to know, I'm not feeling the best today. Actually, I'm depressed. I think even being more clear with folks helps them to understand how to help. Because one thing I've been learning over the last month or so is that folks want to help, but they don't know how. They don't know how. Most folks don't know how to help. So one thing, talking to the folks who are in a position as helpers, as allies, one thing you can always ask is, how do I support you? That puts the ownership on a person going through it to actually give permission and action to how to help. When someone asks me how they can support me, I say, you're helping me by just talking to me. Right? Text me, tell me about your day, tell me what you're thinking about. You're helping me and supporting me just by showing up. Right? You're helping me and supporting me by reminding me to do the normal things, like stick to my routine, doing creative things, going for walks, working out, eating. For my depression folks, you know eating is important. Eating 3 meals a day. Sometimes we go whole days without eating, which is wild to me, but hey, that's the way it is. So that's isolation, and I think we can work through it. Let me know your thoughts, whether it's on depression, whether it's on community, whether it's isolation. If you disagree with me, let me know. For real, let's start a discussion around this, and it's okay to disagree. It really is. In fact, I think that's how we get closer to the answers. And I'm looking to find out ways that you're exploring this, right? Looking to find out ways that you're playing with this. I know it's a serious topic, but exploring and playing is a natural way to find out answers, right? So yeah, I wish you the best. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I'll see you soon. Peace.